1 month after this Japanese tour ended, you returned to Mid-South in May 1980 and took on a full schedule with the company now.
Yeah.
How would you describe these early experiences around Bill Watts following this arm break that this dude essentially forced on you?
I just went out there and tried the best I could, man.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, was I made the mark,
Oh, yeah.
and looking back, of course, at the time I didn't recognize it. I was thinking I was going to get fired every night. That's how that's how little I thought of my work.
Why do you think that is that you doubted yourself?
Because my father bred that into me.
I gotcha. He essentially convinced you that you weren't going to make it in this business, so you convinced yourself of the same.
Yep.
Got to keep you feeling kind of hungry, though, right? Where you're essentially just trying to learn more, work as much as you possibly can, get around as many different guys and learn from different guys like you can.
Absolutely.
So really, it's like that difficult time really probably kind of shaped you into the man that we were going to see on screen just a few years later on the biggest stage in wrestling.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned, around this time, you're working this full-time schedule. Again, you're working with a bunch of fellows that we don't know, but one guy that we do know is Killer Khan, and you're going to work with him during these early days. And he was a sumo wrestler, legit shooter, and one of the very first opponents that you wrestled after returning to Mid-South in the spring. It's going to be on May 3rd, 1980, to be exact. Somewhat of a journeyman himself, he worked in almost all the major territories throughout his career. What do you remember about stepping into the ring with Khan?
Oh, he was awesome, man. Yeah, he was a 300-pound legit shooter, legit sumo wrestler, and a hell of a hand, man, in the ring.
He was damn good and damn good at getting heat as well, which positions somebody like you, a young baby face, really well. And here's this picture of you from that era again, young, good-looking kid. I think that you were positioned really well to be a baby face here. Were you a baby face in Japan as well?
No, I was a heel.
Got to be over there, right?
Yeah.
Now working here with Killer Khan, I know it's English is not his first language. Was there a language barrier for you guys to fight through?
We just went out and worked, man.
So it's all just kind of like context clues and looks and stuff like that, huh?
Yeah.
Man, as somebody who's stepping into the ring and practicing, kind of calling it on the spot instead of rehearsing it a bunch before you go out there, that is really hard to do.
It was the way we did it back then.
Impressive, man. What do you think of it nowadays, by the way? Because I'm sure you saw it backstage at AEW and probably at indie shows. A lot of guys really go over the matches and even kind of walk through it backstage ahead of the match. When you see that, what do you think of it?
It just really makes me sad.
Yeah.
The art of working a match is gone. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
It removes like the element of spontaneity when that kind of thing happens, right?
Yeah, and it shows. I mean, it fucking shows, man.
Instead of reacting to the crowd, they're just doing what they plan to do, regardless of how the crowd feels about it.
Exactly.
I will say, as a guy who's inexperienced, I like the rehearsal because it's like I'm nervous going out there and I don't want to fuck up. So it's like if I know what the spot is, then it makes life easier. But to your point, you're gonna get a better match whenever you can just be spontaneous.
Yeah, you are.